happened on the global stage. The world united to adopt the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This powerful movement emerged from this turbulent era filled with wars, genocide, nuclear threats, and economic instability. Despite these challenges, nations came together to make a solemn promise to protect and advance the human rights of every individual. There are many cases going all over the world which shows how the individuals are deprived of their individual rights by the people who view them other person gains, benefits, honor, and even for the moment of pleasure. You all, you all would remember the case of Nirbhaya, the young girl who was gang raped in a bus and was left out in the road to die. Even a recent case of Kolkata where a doctor was raped brutally and murdered. Other than those, there is even a famous rich princess, Sheikha Latifa bin Mohammed Al Maktoum, the daughter of Prime Minister of UAE, who was deprived of her human rights. She was held captive by her own father in the house and kept under high security and was in a constant surveillance by her own guards. Other than those, in 2020, when India was going under lockdown in COVID period, a huge horrifying case emerged. The father and son duo were killed brutally in the police custody by the police themselves. Among the nations, there are wars going on, which directly impacts the rights of common and innocent people living there, be it Russia-Ukraine war or Israel and Hamas. The people, innocent people involved in the countries were restricted of their rights. They were restricted even the basic necessities of food, water, shelter. During British rules, Indians were deprived of their rights. People were forced to change their religion, forced into slavery, snatched their dignity, comparing people with dogs. Human rights are rights inherent of all the human beings, to all human beings, regardless of sex, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion, or any other status, which includes right to life and liberty, freedom from slavery and torture, freedom of opinion and expression, the right to work and education. Lastly, I would like to conclude by saying that we as young individuals who understand the importance of human rights and actively participate in empowering the better future to have a better solution for the global challenges coming ahead. And for this, I would like to say the theme for the Human Rights Day 2024 is Our Rights, Our Future, right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandana. Next, Atifa Tariq.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I, Atufa Tariq from MBA first year, stand before you all to give a short speech on the auspicious day of Human Rights Day. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. These profound words by Nelson
is a powerful quote by Martin Luther King Jr. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Pankaj Kumar Yadav. Today, 10th December, we are celebrating Human Rights Day. It is dedicated to promote protection of the fundamental rights and freedom of all individuals. On 10th December 1948, UDHR was adopted by United Nations General Assembly. That is Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The theme for the Human Rights Day 2024 is Our Right, Our Future, Right Now. The main objective of this day is to protect and promote the rights of every person. Let's stand for human rights for all and know some fundamental rights given by the Indian Constitution. Rights to equality means all are equal before law in case of caste, sex, religion or color. Abolition of titles, abolition of untouchability. Right to freedom. It provides freedom of speech and expression to all. Right to freedom from exploitation. Article 23 and Article 24 of the Constitution guarantees citizens protection from any kind of forced labor. Right to freedom of religion. This guarantees the freedom to practice, profess and propagate any religion subject to public order, morality and health. At last, I would like to conclude my speech with a quote by John F. Kennedy. Human rights are not a privilege, they are birthright. Thank you.
Next, Sarad Mahato.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected director sir, judges, and all my dear friends and juniors. I am Sarad Mahato from MBA first year. Today, I am stand here to deliver my speech on the behalf of human rights. As we all know, today is 10th December. On this day, we celebrate Human Rights Day. Human rights is established on 1993. Human rights are our fundamental rights. Human rights are called moral principles of human behaviors. Human rights ensures justice and fairness for all. Human rights makes every citizen equally important for the nation. Human rights are universal. Human rights gives us freedom to develop choices about our lives. Now I like to some human right violation cases, like in Kolkata, RG car doctor rape murder case, where the 31 years old new training get raped and murdered. War like Russia and Ukraine, where the people, thousands of people were suffering from war and killed. So here I am considered that we are all a citizen of India. We should fight among the people who violate human rights. We should always respect our human rights. Thank you.
Rudram Karesia.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rudram Karesia and I'm standing before you to share my points on the topic human rights. First, I just want to share what is the definition of human rights. Human rights are the set of universal principles applied on everyone, regardless of their background, location, and etc. Human rights are the fundamental rights of all human beings. Everyone should know what human rights they have. Human rights are the rights which tells us, each and every person, that how we should treat the other person fairly, in a good manner, equality, in an equal manner, without any discrimination, ill treatment, fairly, or with dignity. It is very important to know your Why it is necessary to know your human rights? Because to protect the religious, culture, nationality, etc. Protect democracy, freedom of opinion and expression, so that the person can share his opinion, feelings, thoughts. He or she should have the right to choose whatever work he or she wants to do, right to educate. It is very much necessary to know all the rights. It is very much important. So why we are facing the problem of lack of human rights? First of all, we are facing this problem because of ill treatment, inequality, because girls and boys both are not getting the equal opportunities. Discrimination, poor and rich, ill treatment, hatred, violation of international humanitarian of law. People are killing the victims who are innocent, who have not done anything, just to perform illegal activities. Hatred and discrimination. There are two countries who always comes first in the lack of human rights. First, it is North Korea, 0.02%, and Afghanistan, 0.05%. And there are also so many countries like Rajasthan. First, let us take the example of Rajasthan. It is the place where the girls are treated as a burden. Their family treats them as burden. They don't educate them. They treat them as burden and ill-treat them and teach them household so that they can get married. They get them married in a very early age. And one of the example is Bangladesh. The girl was killed just because she was not wearing the hijab properly. And many other countries are there where small people are forced to perform tasks in a big factory or big organization because they are poor. So we can control our human rights. We can protect our rights by making awareness, by voting to the right person. Voting right person. So at last, I just want to conclude my speech by saying that human rights are the rights which tells us how to treat each and every person equally without any discrimination.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Sarna Fatma of MBA first year, is standing before you all to give short speech on the auspicious day of Human Rights Day. So today we gather to celebrate Human Rights Day, a reminder that everyone deserves respect, freedom, and equality. Human rights they belong to us, no matter our background, race, or beliefs. They protect our dignity and ensure we live with fairness and justice. Human rights are the basic rights and freedom that belongs to every person in the world, from birth until death. So these rights include right to live, right to liberty, security of person. This means that everyone has the right to live without fear and violence, right to express their opinions and ideas, right to education, right to work. Everyone has the right to good health. Or, as we all know, India is a democratic country, but also there are many reasons which exploit the human rights. So, like gender inequality, caste system, child marriage, state system. So, we should come together as a human and should create awareness about the rights of an individual. Human rights are not privilege conferred by government. They are every human being's entitlement by virtue of his humanity. So that's all. Thank you so much. Next, Arpita Naik.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Arpita Naik, a student of BBA second year. Today, I want to talk about They include the rights to live safely, speak freely, and be treated equally, no matter where we come from, what we believe, or how we look. Human rights are like a foundation for fairness and justice. They remind us that every person matters. While these rights are for everyone, get to enjoy them. Around the world, there are people who face unfair treatment, violence, or poverty. Some are denied the right to go to school, some cannot speak up for themselves, and others live in fear because who they are. Let's remember that human rights are not just about laws or rules. They are about people, they are about building a world where everyone feels safe, respected, and free to live their lives. And it is up to us to protect this right for ourselves and for others. Thank you.
Next, Sadhara.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Azram Tabdubai from BBA second year. Today we are gathered here to discuss Human Rights Day, a day that holds immense significance in our shared to justice, equality, and the dignity of every individual. As we referred on the principle in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, let us take a moment of appreciate the progress made and acknowledge the work that still lies ahead. Human Rights Day is not merely a celebration, it is a reminder of responsibility we bear a global citizen to uphold and protect the right of every person, regardless of race, gender, religion, and social status. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted in 1948, serves as a beacon of hope and a testament of our collective aspiration for a world where we person can live free from fear and want. Its 30 articles outlines that fundamental rights and freedom that every individual to from the right to live, liberty, and society of person to the right to education, work, and participate in the government. It is our duty to stand united against injustice, discrimination, and the oppression. As students, we play the crucial role in shaping the future, and it's our responsibility to educate ourselves and others about the importance of human rights. I want to conclude my speech by saying that let us be the generation that stand up against the injustice and work toward a world where human rights are not just a declaration about lived and reality for all. Thank you.
Sadhara. Next, Ayushman Sharma.
On December 10, 1948, on December 10, 1948, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted by the UN General Assembly. And in 1950, the UN General Assembly invited all states and interested organizations to adopt the 10th December each year as Human Rights Day. Good afternoon, everyone present over here. I, Ayushman Sharma from BBA second year, stand here to give speech on the topic human rights. Human rights means the basic needs of human life. Everybody can expect to get these needs as a human being. These needs are essential for the physical, mental, and spiritual development of both men and women. The basic human rights are freedom of speech, security of life, right of citizenship, right to vote, right for education, justice, and so on. Human rights ensure that every person is treated with dignity, equality, and fairness. They serve as a safeguard against discrimination and injustice. At last, I want to say, human rights are the cornerstone of a just and equitable society. Upholding these rights is essential for peace, prosperity, and human flourishing. Upon all stakeholders to work together to protect and promote human rights for present and future generations. Thank you.
Good afternoon, esteemed director, faculty members, and my dear colleagues. Today I want to begin boy named Arjun. So he was very fond of going to school and dreamed of becoming a teacher. So he came from a marginalized community. Okay. So his family was denied with basic access like clean water and education. So out of curiosity, one day when he was 10 years old, 10 years old, he asked his family that why he has been discriminated by the other people and why he can't go to school like other students. So the father said, with tears in his eyes, that it's going on like how his husband always. But the Arjun, the small child, refused it, and years later, he became the first graduate in his village. Okay, so this Arjun story is a powerful reminder that uh, that the fight for human rights starts with individuals who believe in fairness and justice. As we commemorate Human Rights Day, let us reflect on why these rights matter in today's world. Challenges to human rights persist from discrimination and poverty to inequality and violence. But history has shown us that even the smallest act of courage can lead to monumental changes. Let us pledge today not only to honor these rights but to actively protect and promote the human rights in our communities. Let's challenge prejudice and advocate for justice and create a world where every individual, like Arjun, can dream without limits. Thank you.
Sir, Priyank.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Sir, Priyank to fight.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Manish Jain from BBA second year. Thank you for giving me this opportunity for saying few lines about the human rights, Human Rights Day. We came together to observe Human Rights Day. We did to reflect on the rights that every person, no matter their background, deserves. On this day, in 1948, the United Nations adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, setting a global standard that individual is entitled to dignity, equality, and freedom. But while the declaration was a groundbreaking achievement, we know that the reality for many peoples around the world still falls short of these ideals. People face discrimination, violation, and denial of basic freedoms. Women's refugees and marginalized communities continue to fight for their rights often at a great personal cost. Human Rights Day is not just about looking back. It is all for all of us to take access. It is reminder that protecting human rights is not just the job of governments and or organizations. It is something we all share responsibility for. Where it is standing up when we see injustice, supporting those whose rights are violated, or simply educating ourselves about the issues. Each of us has the power to make a difference. So as we reflect on the progress we have made at the still ahead, let's continue to a future where these rights of every person are recognized and protected. So lastly,
Sir, Sikha Pradhan.
freedom and equality. Human rights belong to all of us, no matter our background, race, or beliefs. They protect our dignity and ensure we live with fairness and justice. Let's remember the importance of kindness, understanding, and standing up for others. Together, we can make the world a place where every person feels valued and safe.
Next, Pratik. Prasad.
Good morning everyone.
Silence.
Sit over here. Today we are gathered here for the celebration of Human Rights Day. These rights are inherited from the birth of a human being and no one can replace them. Every year 10 December is celebrated as a Human Rights Day. In this day in 1948, United Nations General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The celebration of this day has decided in 1950. It promotes equality of regardless of caste, creed, color, gender, status, etc. for every individual rights. It is celebrated to improve the social, cultural and spiritual welfare of the vulnerable group of people. It awares the people regarding their rights and responsibilities. Nelson Mandela, who was the real victim of human rights violations, said the real leader must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. It is our responsibility to safeguard human rights in future. Let us join our work and hand in the direction of a better future. Thank you.
Sir, Amresa Batra.
Good afternoon everyone. I am Nisha Batra of BBA second year. Today I want to talk about something very important, human rights. What are human rights? They are the special thing that every person in the world deserves just because they are human. These rights are like a shield that protect us from bad things. They help us to be safe, to learn, to grow and to live with dignity. We all have the rights to be treated fairly, know who we are or where we come from. But sadly, everyone in the world not everyone in the world gets to enjoy this right. Some people are treated badly because of their skin color, religion, or where they are born. They are not have enough food to eat, clean water to drink, or a safe place to live. It's up to all of us to make sure that everyone gets to enjoy their human rights. We can do this by being kind to others, speaking out against injustice, and helping those in need. Let's work together to build a world where everyone is treated with respect and dignity. Thank you.
Aditi Misra.
Good afternoon everyone. I am Mr. student of BBA first semester. I stand before you to give my thoughts on human rights. Today we gather to discuss the importance of equality and justice. These two principles are the foundation upon which our human rights are built. Equality is the foundation of justice. Without equality, justice is impossible. We must ensure that everyone is treated equally and has access to the same opportunities. Justice is not about punishing those who have done wrong. It is also about promoting equality and fairness. We must work towards creating a world where everyone has rights and freedom. Human rights violations have a profound impact on individuals, communities, and societies. They can lead to physical and emotional harm. They can lead to displacement and migration. They can lead to social and economic equality. We must work toward preventing human rights violation. We must hold those responsible for violation accountable. We must provide support and protection to those who have been affected. There are many challenges that we face from rising inequality to climate change. However, there are also many opportunities. We have the opportunity to promote and protect human rights in new and innovative ways. We have the opportunity to hold those in power accountable. We have the opportunity to create a more just and equitable world. Let us work together to create a brighter future for human rights. Let us promote, protect, and respect human rights for all. Thank you.
Next, Sharma.
17 मिनट हो गए सर मैथ वाले सर
Silent.
सर 17 मिनट हो गया रिस्टार्ट कर दे आप किए थे
The denial of human rights is a threat to the very foundation of our global community. Break the chains of oppression, uphold human rights. Human rights are universal, inalienable, and indivisible. Honorable dignitaries, esteemed faculties, and ladies and gentlemen, I am really honored to speak on this great day of human rights. I am Komal Sharma from BBA first year, and I would like to share my thoughts and my point of view on the topic human rights. I may say that human rights are basic freedoms and protections that every individual is entitled to, regardless of their nationality, ethnicity, gender, religion, so on. The rights are universal, inalienable, and indivisible. Now, the concept of human rights has been around for centuries, but it wasn't when the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted by the United Nations in 1948. There are almost 30 articles which includes of all the rights, the right to life, the right to liberty, the right to security of a person, freedom of speech, assembly, so on. Human rights are not only for the moral imperative, but they're a legal and political necessity too. They are the cornerstone of our humanity. Justice is not about punishing that who has done bad or who is reliable or not, but about giving equality to all the people. Now, education is also a human right too. It helps us to understand about our rights and responsibilities more and more. There are a lot of Indian cases in accordance to human rights. Like NAS Foundation v. Government of NCR, Delhi 2009, a Delhi High Court case that discriminalized consensual homosexual activities between the adults promoting LGBTQ rights. Manika Gandhi v. Union of India 1978, a Supreme Court case that expanded the article of 21, that is the article given to the right to life and liberty. Vishaka v. State of Rajasthan, 1997, a Supreme Court case that established guidelines for preventing sexual awareness at the workplace that we females don't get very often. The top 5 common human rights violations are act of violence, section 294, organ harvesting, indigenous people system, systematic racial and ethnic violence and discrimination. There are a lot of sections that are put up by the Indian Penal Code to save our rights as a person. Now, according to section 294, offense act in public is punishable up to 3 months, and there is a pension, and there is a prison of and fine too. Section 340, this deals with all the wrong conferment of human protections, human rights. Section 21, right to freedom, expression of speech, and so on. Section 498A of IPC, cruelty as any willful conduct that could cause any grave injury or danger to any subordinates. There are so many sections, but still there is no equality. Now, this case is issue the ongoing struggles of human rights and the importance that can be continued with proper advocacy and action in the high courts and Supreme Courts too. We have the opportunities to promote and protect them all. Now, we have the opportunity to uphold the powers accountable because we are the young generation. Let us all work together to create a brighter future for human rights. Let us all promote, protect, and respect human rights for all. Be the voice for the voiceless. Stand up for human rights. Thank you so much.
Imagine a world where
our commitment to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted by the United Nations in 1948. Human rights are the part of what makes us human. These rights make us who we are and help to build a good society. But the truth is, human rights are still being violated in many parts of the world. People continue to face discrimination, oppression, and violence. This is wrong. Also, human rights are not a privilege but a birthright. They are universal, inalienable, and indivisible. They are the foundation of our humanity, the basis of our freedom, and the cornerstone of our dignity. But sadly, human rights continue to be violated around the world. People are still being tortured and killed for their beliefs, opinions, and identities. We all need to stand up for human rights and work to protect them. We need to build a society where everyone has equal rights and opportunities. So, on this Human Rights Day, let's make a promise to never stop fighting for human rights. Let's work to create a world with respect and equality for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, Dipali. Dipali.
To deny people their human right is to challenge their very humanity. This wonderful quote was written by Nelson Mandela. A very good afternoon to one and all present over here. I am Dipali Darshanagiri of BBA first year, here to deliver a speech on human rights. Today, we gather here to honor and reflect on one of the most fundamental principles that unites us all together, human rights. Every individual, regardless of race, gender, nationality, or background, is entitled to the same rights, freedoms, and dignity. These rights are not a privilege, but a birthright, a legacy passed down from the struggles of those who fought for equality, justice, and freedom. On this Human Rights Day, we must recognize that while progress has been made, we are still confronted with challenges. Millions continue to face discrimination, oppression, and violence. We see it in unjust laws, inequality in access to education, healthcare, and opportunities, and in the displacement of people due to conflict and intrusion. The fight for human rights is ongoing, and it requires each of us to stand up, speak out, and take action. We must remember that human rights are not just ideals, they are actionable principles. They call upon us to treat each other with respect, to defend the vulnerable, and to ensure that every voice is heard. Let us remember that true change comes from the collective will of people who refuse to accept injustice, who strive for peace, and who believe in the dignity of every human life. As we reflect on this day, let us commit ourselves not only to honoring human rights, but to advancing them by holding ourselves accountable, supporting those in need, and advocating for a world where the rights of all are respected. I would like to conclude by saying we all have the power to make a difference by standing up for what is right. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Arjun Kaur.
Good afternoon, everyone presenting over here. I am Harpreet Kaur, student of BBA first year. I stand before you today to illuminate a topic that transcends border, cultures, and ideologies. The fundamental rights that define our shared humanity. Human rights, those inalienable agreements towards to upon which a just and equitable society is built. The concept of human rights, while ancient is its roots, has gained renewed significance in the modern era. It is a testament to our collective conscience and recognize that every individual, regardless of race, religion, gender, or social status, deserve to live of dignity and freedom. From the right to life, liberty, and security of person to the freedom of thoughts, conscience, and religions. These rights are the compass guiding us toward a world where justice prevails and flourishes. There are the same protective us from oppression, the sword cutting through the illuminating the path to a future where every human being is valued and respected. However, the reality is far from perfect. In countless corners of the global, human rights are violated daily. War, conflicts, and systematic injustice continue to erode the every foundation of human dignity. It is upon us as individuals, as a global community, to stand united in defense of these rights. We must raise our voice against injustice, challenges, and status, and demand accountability from those who would deny others their fundamental freedoms. We must become the champion of human rights, advocating for a world where every person can live a life free from fear and want. Let us promise to be the torchbearers of hope, illuminating the path towards a future where human rights are not merely ideals but lived realities. Let us work tirelessly to create a world where every individual, regardless of their background, can reach their full potential and live a life of dignity and purpose. Thank you.
Good afternoon, respected faculty members and each one of you. I am Suvam Parija, is here to give a speech on Human Rights Day. Today, as we commemorate Human Rights Day, we acknowledge the intricate tapestry of rights that binds us all. It is a tapestry woven with threads of dignity, equality, and justice. A masterpiece that celebrates the inherent worth of every individual. Yet, this tapestry is often damaged by the shadows of injustice, inequality, and discrimination. We witness the silent screams of the marginalized, the stifled voices of oppressed, and the shattered dreams of those who denied the fundamental rights. Human rights are not merely ideals, they are the lifeblood of our societies. They empower us to live with dignity, to pursue our aspirations, and to contribute the betterment of the world. When we uphold these rights, we build a foundation for peace, progress, and prosperity. As we embark to this journey towards a more just and equitable world, let us remember that our rights are not privileged bestowed upon us, but inherent entitlements that must be protected and defended. By upholding these rights, we honor the legacy of those who fought for them and paved the way for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Nisanda.
Good afternoon to all of you. My name is Nishan Das from BBA first year, and today we are observing the Human Rights Day. So I have prepared a short note about it. What is human rights? Human Rights Day is celebrated on December 10th to commemorate the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the United Nations General Assembly in 1948. The theme for Human Rights Day 2024 is that our rights, our future, right now. So the first thing is that for universal applicability of human rights, there are four things. First is inherent dignity. Human rights are based on the inherent dignity of all people, irrespective of culture or context. They are essential for equality and justice. Second thing is global standard. Universal human rights provide a common framework to combat atrocities like genocide, slavery, and oppression. Without universal standards, abuses may be justified under cultural or political pretext. Third is economic and social development. universal rights such as education, freedom of speech, and gender equality is essential for long-term progress in any society. Fourth point is historical lessons. History shows that relativism can lead to unchecked abuses as seen in colonialism, apartheid, and or dictatorial regimes. The second is against universal applicability, cultural relativism. First point is cultural diversity. Imposing universal human rights may ignore cultural traditions and values. What is considered a right in one society might conflict with practice in another. Second is economic realities. Developing countries may look the resources to guarantee certain rights, example free healthcare, education, and should prioritize economic stability first. Third is political sovereignty. Universal human rights framework sometimes clash with national sovereignty, leading to accusations of cultural imperialism or external interference. Fourth is evolving standards. Human rights evolve with societal norms. Applying a rigid universal standard may fail to adapt to the unique challenges of different regions. Third is rebuttals. There are 2 points on it. To cultural relativism. Respect for culture does not justify violation like gender discrimination or freedom suppression. Basic rights should never be compromised. Second is to universalism. A one-size-fits-all approach may alienate or destabilize societies. Solutions should integrate global principles with local constraints. The debate ultimately highlights the tension between preserving cultural identity and resetting global economy. Thank you to all of you.
A warm and cheerful good afternoon to one and all present over here. I am Manish Gupta from BBA department, and today I am standing in front of you to give a speech on the topic human rights. Today we are here to celebrate Human Rights Day that reminds us of the basic rights. Every person deserves, no matter who they are. Human rights include things like freedom, equality, and education, the rights to live with dignity. These rights are the foundation of the fair and just society. The theme for Human Rights Day 2024 is Our Rights, Our Freedom. Rights now emphasizing the role of human rights in empowering individuals and communities to shape a better future. Observed annually on 10th December, Human Rights Day marks the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. It highlights the importance of ensuring equality and dignity for all, while promoting continued efforts to protect rights and freedom across the globe. Sadly, not everyone in the world enjoys these rights. Many people still face discrimination, inequality, and injustice. We need to speak up and support those who are denied their rights. Even small action like treating others with kindness and standing against unfairness can make a difference. On this special day, let us all promise to respect and protect human rights, not just for ourselves, but for everyone. Together we can create a world where everyone feels valued and safe. Thank you. Charm and cheerful afternoon to everyone. My name is Jasdeep Singh from Department BBA first year. Today we are gathered here for collective voices for human rights. Human rights are the fundamental freedom and protectors that belongs to every person regardless of their race, gender, nationality, religion or any other status. They are all right inherent to all human beings and they form the foundation of justice and equitable in the society. Human rights are built on the principle of dignity, equality, and respect. They are enriched in the foundation. Documents such as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights adopted in the United Nations in 1948. This milestone represents a collective commitment to uphold the innate rights of all individuals and mark an essential step in our ongoing struggle against oppression and injustice. Yet, despite of this progress, we stand today in a world where these rights are still under threat. Millions faces discrimination, violence, and persecution simply for being who they are. From the sickness of modern slavery to the marginalization of entire community, the struggle phenomena is normal. For human rights is from over everyday individuals are silenced for speaking out against injustice, while others remain invisible from the eyes, from the power they hold. If the problems are there, sure there will be some solutions. Protecting good activists. Many times we see that politicians try to suppress the activists' beliefs and thoughts. I think people who are activism, surely they had gone through some pain. Legislative reforms, enhancing the rules and regulation can help the people who are suffering from the inequality. Education and awareness, promoting education on human rights from an early age can help foster a culture of respect and understanding. Human rights education should be integrated into school curriculum to raise the awareness about the rights and responsibility of individuals. Empowerment programs and campaigns. Programs can help the individual to know their political rights and social rights. Like example, we are seeing LGBTQ rallies are performed in many states to show that this phenomenon is real. A boy in UP was hurted so badly that he died. His only mistake was he used hand pump to irrigate the crops. For my perspective, it is not his mistake. The mistake was he was from the Dalit family. Let's take a pledge. Can I urge everyone to stand? India is my country.
India is
all Indians are my brothers and sisters. I love my country. And I am proud of its rich and varied heritage. I shall strive to be worthy of it. I shall respect my parents and teachers and elders and treat everyone with courtesy. To my country and all my peoples, I place my devotion in their well-being and prosperity. Alone lies my happiness. Thank you.
to talk about fundamental aspect of our humanity, human rights. These are the basic rights and freedoms that every individual is entitled to regardless of their nationality, gender, religion or any other status. Human rights are the foundation upon which our dignity and well-being are built. They are the guarantee that we have as human beings to live our lives with freedom, equality and justice. The concept of human right is not new. It has evolving over centuries with significant milestones such as French Declaration of Right of Man and of the Citizen and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights adopted by the United Nations in 1948. In a comprehensive document that outlines 30 articles of human rights, these rights include the right of life, liberty and security of person, freedom from torture and discrimination, the right of education, healthcare and social security. Human rights are not just abstract concepts, they are essential for our daily lives. They protect us from abuse and exploitation, ensures our access to basic necessities like food, water and shelter, and enable us to participate fully in our community. We must recognize that human rights are not just a moral imperative but also a legal obligation. Government, businesses and individuals all have a responsibility to protect, respect and fulfill human rights. In conclusion, human rights are the foundation of our humanity. They are the guarantees that we have as human beings to live our life with freedom, equality and justice. Let us recognize the importance of human rights, educate ourselves and others, advocate for human rights and take action to promote human rights in our community. Thank you.
Next, Rania Luthra.
Good afternoon, one and all over present over here, respected principal, sir, faculty member, and fellow. So, I am standing before you to share few words on human rights. We gather here to reflect on the theme, our rights, our future, and right now. These words resonate deeply as they encapsulate the essence of our existence, fundamental rights that define us as human beings. Human rights are not mere abstraction. They are the very fabric of our society. They are the shield that protects us from injustice, the compass that guides us towards a just and equitable road. From the right to life, liberty, and security of the person to the right to education, health, freedom of expression. These rights are the bedrock upon which our hope and dreams are built. Yet, even in our modern world, these rights remain elusive for many. Discrimination, inequality, oppression continues to cast a long shadow over countless. We witness flight of refugees, the struggles of marginalized communities, and erosion of democratic freedom. These are stark reminders that our rights are not guaranteed. These must be defended, upheld, and continuously advanced. As young people, we have a unique role to play in shaping our future. We are the torchbearers of change, the agent of progress. We must educate ourselves about human rights, raise awareness, and advocate for a world where everyone, regardless the background, can live with dignity and freedom. We must use our voice to speak against injustice, to challenge our status quo, to demand a better future for all. We must stand solidarity with those whose rights are being violated and work together to create more just, equitable world. Let us embrace the power of our collective voice and strength of our shared humanity. Let us commit ourselves to the pursuit of human rights, not just today, but every day. Thank you.
So what makes us human? Is it our ability to think, to dream, or is it the fact that we all deserve to live with dignity, freedom, and justice? Respected Director Sir, who is not here sadly, esteemed faculties, and all my friends. My name is Anita Acharya of BBA final year, and today, on Human Rights Day, I want to talk about what truly connects us, and that's our Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. It is a document that says loud and clear, no matter who you are or where you are from or what do you believe, you have the right that no one can take away from you. Okay, so this year the theme is our rights, our future right now. It's not just a slogan, it's a challenge to stand against the inequality